I was told that some people got released. They brought back to their houses and they couldn't find their house in front of the building. They were destroyed mentally to that level.
Hello everyone, I'm Rana, and today I'm here to interview Dr. Erkin Sidick, who is the Senior Advisor to the World Uyghur Congress and the founder of the Uyghur Academy. He was born in the city of Aksu in Xinjiang. He worked as a teacher and a research associate at the University of Xinjiang. He currently lives in California, and his impressive resume includes many companies in Silicon Valley and the NASA. So you have been very vocal about the Uyghur Genocide for years now. What has compelled you to start this, despite knowing the dangers for you and your family?
I started a voluntary consulting service to Uyghur students in East Turkestan in 1993. Basically, we had a lot of young people, ambitious, and did very well at school. Starting in 2005, I started writing articles in Uyghur language in personal development, child development, goal setting. So I was well known back home by young people because they could come to me with any questions. I have been doing this kind of work until 2017, January 2017. At that time, the last Uyghur website back home was closed down. Starting in 2017, meeting with me or communicating with me via email became a crime to put people in concentration camps. In 2009, that's the last time I went to my homeland. After I came back, many students who met with me couldn't graduate. They got punishment. But starting 2017, they all got arrested, put in concentration camps. The number is very large. In my estimate, it might be more than 3,000 young students. When I visited my homeland, I avoided all the political questions, anything like that. For example, one student asked me about bilingual education. What happened is China used this bilingual education as an excuse to eliminate Uyghur language. They called it bilingual education, but in reality it's not. It's to eliminate Uyghur language and just everybody live with Han Chinese language, Mandarin. But when that question was asked, I didn't answer it. They tracked my email, the Chinese government. And I know several people who disappeared after writing me emails. I got information from insiders at the top level of the Chinese government that the Chinese government decided to kill 1/3 of the Uyghur population, lock up 1/3 of the Uyghur population, bring back the remaining 1/3 of the Uyghur population. In China, the population number of minorities also a top secret. They don't tell the real number. China basically make up numbers when it comes to the population number of the minorities. In 2017, it's 11.3 million, but recently, on September 3rd, Chinese foreign minister spokesperson said there are 12.73 million Uyghurs now. But our estimate is 20 million. So if you think 1/3 of the 20 million is more than 6 million, I have been saying up to 9 million Uyghurs have already been detained because I have a lot of the internal information. If you go to our homeland now, in the city, Uyghur people disappear. The Middle Ages people, they're all gone. What happened to them? Where they are? We have to ask this question all the time. That in this year alone, the Chinese government planned to move 4 million Uyghurs to Han provinces as forced labor workers. Until now, they already moved like 300,000 Uyghur people into Han provinces. Initially, I thought if the Uyghur students work hard, do well, it is okay. Under the Chinese law, it is okay. But the Chinese government didn't allow us to live. It started soon after they occupied East Turkestan in 1949. If you know the Chinese history, you will understand this kind of situations. That's the character of the Chinese ruler for a long time. They don't allow other cultures, other races live together with them. So you have only two ways. One is to get assimilated. Another one is to die out, disappear. And we are not danger to anybody. People lived in Taklamakan for so many centuries without causing any problem with other people. But now China decided to get rid of us.
Could you tell us a bit more about your role as a senior advisor to the World Uyghur Congress?
The Uyghur people back home lost everything. You cannot find anything belong to Uyghur there anymore. Our language banned, religion banned, custom banned, culture banned, everything is banned. So we are trying to preserve abroad. We are publishing books. We have monthly journals. We are publishing online. A lot of Uyghur people trust me. So when they contact their family back home, they get some information. Some of them coded in one way or another. And whatever they get, they'll send it to me. And I summarize them every week to the Uyghur people, telling them what is the current situation back home. The Chinese government is also working very hard to prevent the information from being leaking to abroad. Just recently, they arrested a lot of people who they suspected that leaking information. And that's why it's so hard to get information about what's going on the ground.
2017 is a landmark for the increased oppression of the Uyghurs. Why is that? Why 2017 is such a key date?
2017 is the beginning of the intensified campaign to eradicate the Uyghur people. Actually, the preparation for concentration camp and the building of the concentration camp started in 2012. The earliest one started at that time, and the first one completed in 2014. And people got detained, arrested, and some people were moved to Han provinces. All were going on, but in 2017, the whole thing intensified. The reason is China tested the international community just to see what they do, what they say about what they are doing. Now, the Chinese attitude is don't care whatever you say, we don't care.
Imagine the camps being closed down today. How can the wounds of this be healed?
The Chinese government's plan is to get rid of the 2/3 of the Uyghur people. So far, the Uyghur people who got into concentration camps never got out. There are very few examples here and there, and in most cases, they're all already mentally destroyed. Several close people close to me also, some of them died in the concentration camp, some of them died right after. For example, recently I testified about Muttalib Nur Mehmet. He came to the US in 2000. He got 2 master degrees, and in 2005 they went back. His dad is a very rich person, billionaires in US dollar, billionaires in East Turkestan. He was detained and put in concentration camp in 2018, stayed 10 months, and he came out in December of 2018, died 9 days later. In one piece of information I got, I was told that some people got released. They brought back to their houses, and they couldn't find their house in front of the building. They were destroyed mentally to that level. They are all gone bodily, mentally. Right now, there's a big facility in Nanshan, near Urumqi. It is 30 kilometers to Urumqi. They are testing humans, and I have relatives in it. That's why I know it. Chinese government's aim to kill all the people who were detained in concentration camps. They are not trying to keep them alive. So if I come back to your earlier question, what's the path forward to solve this problem? I think a lot about this. Actually, we should use the international apparatus to stop this tragedy. China was elected as the counseling member to the UN Human Rights Council. This is a giving the gun to a serial killer. It's a joke. The UN became a practical joke right now. The UN does not work. The European Union and European countries are slow in acting. And right now, the stronger voice is coming from the US, and we are very grateful for that. But the Chinese government is ignoring the statement. They said, we don't care.
My final question is, you talked about the slowness of the international reaction. Do you have any advice for young people like me or anyone who's watching this? Any way they can help the Uyghur community?
Yes, actually, I am so thankful for you and other young people. The one thing that we can all do is to let general people know what's going on in East Turkestan, in China, and stop this process. Because if we allow this whole thing to develop and let China rule the world will be very different. You don't want to live in that world. The world ruled by China is a very dark world. Nobody wants to live, basically. So every one of us should do what we can do. Just tell the people also, if we can apply some pressure to the government to take action. If the US and the European countries combine forces and do something, this process can be stopped. We represent 20 million of the world population. So just yesterday, a Pakistani said, so it doesn't matter if people all die. One guy who serves for Pakistani prime minister said this kind of things. Yeah, it doesn't matter for some people, but if the world changes in the direction of the China is hoping for right now, that world will be a very dark world. Nobody wants to live in that kind of world.
Thank you very much for joining us today and answering my questions. And thank you everyone for watching this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel and share this. And also follow us and Erkin on our social media accounts to keep yourself educated about this issue. Thank you very much.